Hi, I hope you're doing great. So today I want to just briefly show you how important the interactive dashboard is in data management or data-driven decision making. As you can see, we have a display. This is made using the MS Excel, and we have a display of the data that I was trying to analyze of a certain university which wanted to track down the library traffic. And this was based on various departments, the ones that are labeled CAS, CBA, those are the departments. And also to be able to see how the monthly traffic is. As you can see, the department monthly traffic is represented here in a bar graph. We have the department patrons composition in every department, how many patrons are attended. So this was basically to help the university be able to track down the traffic of various patrons in various departments and how the traffic was. So you can see before we come to various features of the visualization, you can see we have additional information like the number of departments. They are well summarized in this dashboard. We have the number of faculty. They are well summarized in this dashboard. We have the non-teaching staff. They are well summarized as 370. Faculty is 183. Department is 112. Also, we have the what we call the hyperlink. We can use images to help us get to a certain sheet that has a certain information. Like here we have the various pivot tables that have been made. In the first two, you can see these two represent how the output of our pivot chart that has been generated using Excel. We also have the email. This one you can see the symbol of an email. We also have this symbol of support. So if somebody want to get to this information, then they can be able to click to each of any of these and they are taken to where they are supposed. For example, if I click on email, you can see we have the emails for Dean of Students. We have the email for chairman of the department, we have the head of the patrons, we have the librarian. So if we come back to our dashboard also, if somebody want a support from the university, they can click on this information and they get the email that is support@gmail.com. That was just an imaginary email. We have also the school website. You can get to the school website and be able to track down that information. So basically that's how interactive dashboard help us to get into to understanding our our traffic in this University X. So basically those are the general features. Then we have now the data visualization, we have the bar, we have the pie chart, and also we have these what we call the slicer. It helps us to analyze specific type of data. For example, if I want to know the CBA department, how they fared, I can just click to that and you can see I'm able to get the information of the CBA. You can see these two are linked together because the data that I use for the pie chart is the same data that I used for the bar graph. So you see they change concurrently. But if you see, if you look at the department monthly traffic, the data is different. That's why you see they are not interconnected. So one thing we have to learn is that if the data is not the same, then the charts might not display the same change or the same representation, because for the dashboard to interact so well, it's good to try and use the same data source. So if the data is different or from a different source, then you cannot be able to link them. But you see these two, they are interacting together because they represent the same, they come from the same data or they are drawn from the same data. So the output of these is from the same data. So when you select all these departments, for example, then the chart will change. So it depends on what you want to analyze. On this side, we have the monthly traffic. So if I click at any month on this slicer, let's say we go to October, then you can see we don't have the data for October. If I take you back to the original data, you can see that we don't have the data for October. But if I come to March, for example, we have already data for that month. So we have the monthly traffic on various departments. So you can see they are well represented. So you can be able to see which one has the highest. You can see this, the CEA has the highest number of, or what we call the traffic. So that's what it means. So basically that's how interactive dashboard works. So how do we get these charts? We get these charts by creating what we call a pivot table. So or what we call pivot charts. So when you have the original data, for example, if I take you to the original data, that is the overall uh, regular traffic and the monthly, this is the data I used. You can see that on this table we have various data in various months. We have up to May. So if I want to create a pivot chart, then I come here, I click on insert, then I insert a pivot chart. So when you click this, it automatically selects the data that you're going to use of the whole table. And also it tells you, do you want to have it in a new worksheet? I would recommend you choose the new worksheet so that you can be able to analyze data differently from this sheet. Because if you use the existing worksheet, then maybe there will be a lot of congestion in your sheet and you'll not be able to get a better visualization of the data that you're analyzing. So for example, I was able to analyze this data, and you can see if you have the monthly traffic, then we have the monthly traffic by vote, which was well represented. This is according to how we clicked on the month of March. It's well represented here. So that is how data interacts. Then you can come to the department against patrons data. You can see I was able to summarize this data. So this data is summarized to give us the output that I want. Remember, uh, you need to first of all think, what do I want to visualize? What do I want to see? So you can be able to know which variables are you going to use in your analysis. Because if you don't first of all get to know what you want to analyze, then you are going to have a lot of information and some will not be helpful. So this is the data for departments. Again, is the number of patrons, and then we have the visualization of the same data now in terms of bar graph, and also in terms of pie chart. So basically that's how interactive dashboard works, and it's very helpful because some of the advantages of interactive dashboard is, as you can see, it helps in data visualization. So you are able to have charts, you are able to have graphs, you are able to have tables, and also you have images that you can use to represent data and some summaries of the data that you want to summarize. Another important aspect of interactive dashboard is it helps in real-time data updates. Because when you come to the data here, maybe you have introduced a new data, we go to the interactive dashboard. Maybe we have new data and you click to this dashboard, you can see we have a refresh option here. So you can be able to refresh data all the time depending on how you update. For example, we have data up to the month of May. If we add on the data for June, July, August, then we just need to refresh, and that now it's going to reflect on our dashboard and our charts and also bar graphs. So it's easy to have a real-time update. Then we have the customization. You can see we have been able to customize using slicers to maybe to get to specific month or to specific department. We have been able to customize through hyperlink to get to the support or to a very certain sheet that we need to get to. Maybe it's the email, maybe it's on the pivot for departments against patrons. So you see, you can be able to have a flexible move using just simple commands using the dashboard options. Then we have it helps in better collaboration. Remember, you can now share these Excel to members of your team, and they can be able to visualize data and make and draw insights from the data. And also they can now be able to even maybe update the data on their own and get the insight. So for example, we have data up to May. So if we have data up to May, the team can, if they add data to June, July, they can be able to come and refresh and get the insights for the remaining part of the year. Then we have also there is also the improved decision making, because we can be able to make a data driven decision, because the data is able to tell us, for example, which department had the highest traffic in the month of March. We can see which department in the so far has the highest number of traffic. So it's easier to draw insights and ask ourselves the questions and draw lessons from the data that we have. We ask ourselves the list, maybe the COL department, why does it have the least number, and what is the cost? Maybe generally the number of the flow is low, or maybe they have a certain challenge. You can be able to make those decisions. So generally, an interactive dashboard helps us to make data-driven decision making, help us to interact with various data, and help us to streamline the operations of your team as a manager or a lead person in the department, to ensure that the decisions that are made, or the team is able to understand how the reporting, the insights, and the various trends in your organizations are coming to be, because you have the evidence and you have the data. And as we always say, data never lie. So when you have data to support your information, it's easier for the team and the stakeholders to understand, and simply you are able to have a streamlined operation in your organization. So simply, that's how interactive dashboard works. And if you might have a question on how to make this, then you can reach out. So thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.